All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome inside the JTG here at Jennings Fairchild Arena on this snowy Monday afternoon at the Avon Old Farms School as we look to write another chapter in knapsack hockey lore. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Patrick Dallahan here with my partner, Ryan Janchio, as we bring to you a live presentation in the best high school hockey rivalry America has to offer, the Avon Old Farms School versus the Westminster School based out of Simsbury, Connecticut. It's the first time this rivalry has been played at Avon Old Farms since 2019 when Westminster came in here and beat Avon Old Farms 3-0, 2 goals coming from Ignat Beloff and a shutout coming from current Cornell goalie Ian Shane. And with that, let's take a look at the recent history of the rivalry that's been dubbed as the big one. As you can see on this graphic, these two teams have met 38 times since 2002. Avon Old Farms winning 22 of those games. 2 ties, Westminster winning 4. The longest win streak is 9 games. And there has not been a home winner of this Monday game since 2018. Westminster won 2-0. Ryan, what should we expect from this year's Westminster squad?
Well, this is a case. They're 7-5 on the year, but in non-tournament play, they're 7-1. It was a 3-0 start to the year, and then an 0-4 Floodmark tournament. But then, since the Christmas break, it's a 4-1 streak that they're on, with the victories over 2 very good Founders League schools in Salisbury and Taft.
Yeah, Avon Old Farms, on the other hand, went 9-0 to start their season. Coming into 2023, they had yet to lose their first game back. They lost to Taft, a tough one, 3-1, and then on Wednesday, they lost to Hotchkiss 4-3 in overtime. But since then, they've gotten back on their feet with convincing wins over Berkshire, Berkshire, NMH, and Kent. But Avon Old Farms, led by their goalie Stephen Peck, he's got a 1.24 goals against average with a 9.43 save percentage. But on the other side, for Westminster, the netminder, Matteo De Luca. What can you tell the viewers and myself about him, Ryan?
Well, he's played every minute for the Martlets this year. 7-5 on the season with a 9.17 save percentage and a 284 goals against average. He's had very, very good games, but there's been times in his play where his confidence level will drop and he'll let up a couple of goals in succession. That happened last week against Canterbury. Bartlett's up 5-1 in the third. That ended up letting up 3 goals in the third in pretty rapid succession, almost. But overall in the year when he has been tested, he's been good.
Yeah, in Avon Old Farms, this could be the end of their hopes at a Founders League championship. For those who don't know, Avon Old Farms falling to Taft and Hotchkiss now puts the Loomis Chafee School in the driver's seat for the Founders League title. Westminster and Loomis met on Friday. The Martlets lost 5-3. Avon Old Farms plays Westminster today, and with the win, they keep their championship hopes alive for the Founders League. But with a loss, it belongs to the Loomis Chafee Pelicans. Avon Old Farms and Loomis Chafee meet up on Wednesday, as we'll take a look at the upcoming schedules for both squads here. The Martlets and the Avon Old Farms Winged Beavers. As you can see there, the Winged Beavers take on Loomis on Wednesday, then they're at Choate, then they match up with the Martlets again on January 1st. I mean, not February 1st, not January 1st. Then they play the Frederick Gun School, and then Deerfield for the second time this season. What about the Martlets, Ryan?
Well, their next 5 games, they have 2 road games kind of far away from home.
Right.
The comforts of Jackson Rink. They're at Deerfield and then at Kent. Then they have these Winged Beavers again on the first. I will be on the call for that one at Jackson. And then it's 2 road games. Actually, it's 3 road games at Hotchkiss on Wednesday, at Choate on Friday, and then they're at Pomfret on Saturday. 6 out of their next 7 are away from Jackson Rink, a place where the Martlets, outside of the Floodmark tournament, have played relatively well in their games away at Brunswick and Taft.
Yep, and we are just a few minutes away from puck drop here in the rivalry that's known as the big one. We'll take a quick break. Westy Avon coming to you live right now. It bounces over the stick of Judge. And here comes Golub. Golub has Connor in the middle. In the middle, Connor! Backhand scores! Joe Connor, the Granite State goal scorer, strikes again, and he puts the Winged Beavers on top early. It's the first shot of the game for Avon Old Farms, and that's all it takes for this offense. It's 1-0 Winged Beavers.
What a move by Joe Connor. In pretty much clear from the hash marks. It makes DeLuca think he's going to his forehand, pulls it right back to the backhand. So that play started in the Beavers' own zone there, with the puck kind of taking a bad bounce over Brian Judge's stick, and then some Beavers winning a race.
Yeah, and it's Joe Connor's 26th point of this season. So with 16:33 to play in the first period of action, Joe Connor puts the Winged Beavers up 1-0, and the Avon Army is loving it. A whiteout theme for Avon Old Farms, their counterparts from the Westminster School in black.
A little deceptive in that nature, as well, Westminster, Avon crowd, they're here, they're loud, they got these noisemaker things that we can hear all the way
Thunder
out here.
6. So the draw one to the corner by Golub for Kennedy. It's handled now by Odenik. Odenik looking up for Golub. Golub carries it into the neutral zone, crossing the red line is the Canada native. Golub with it on his backhand, looks to tuck it in front, he scores! The Winged Beavers take a 2-0 lead. It hits off of the skate of Derek Rhodes, who was back-checking, and not the bounce the Martlets needed. It's 2-0 Winged Beavers. 11:56 to play in the first period. And what brings it behind the net, stops and turns below the red line. Miller over to his partner, that's Blake Jones. Jones looking in front, Odenik scores! Joseph Odenik, the Yukon commit. All three members of the Odenik, Connor, Golub line finding the back of the net this afternoon. It's a 4-0 lead for Avon Old Farms.
Smart shot there by Blake Jones. He saw Odenik cutting towards the net. Elbury unable to pick him up. Dotson loses.
Still an incredibly flexible and acrobatic play. Golub in front, scores! Charlie Golub, second of the game.
That'll do it.
And then just like that, it's 6-0, and Golub able to tuck it away. We didn't even get to update the score from 4-0 to 5-0, and now we have to add 2. It's a 2-pointer.
What a bad turnover from Chase Arnett.
In the corner, looks to cut back in the middle. He's knocked down in the process. Down low, Golub at the point. Miller over to his line mate Jones. Jones, shot saved by DeLuca, and it's covered by the Quebec native. 4:53 to play in the first period. 2-0 lead for Avon Old Farms. The goal's coming from Joe Connor and Charlie Golub.
Ever since Avon took the 2-0 lead, Westminster's had the majority of the chances. Shot by Derek Rhodes. I think that hit the back of Stephen Peck. I don't think he was looking at him. He had Chase Arnett right in his grill.
Connor in the middle, kicked away by DeLuca. So it's handled now behind the net by Volo. Volo still holding on to it, has plenty of time and options as looping it back around, resetting that breakout was Massey as it's nearly taken away by Jones at the point on a pinch as it's up to Pine. Pine, cross blue line pass, apprehended by Yun. Here's Miller. Looks up to Yun. Yun in the neutral zone has it knocked away. It's nearly picked up in Westminster zone, but it's ruled as an offside as Connor was a little bit early in his pursuit in the Westminster zone.
Wade Volo is like a water bug out there. You look at him for 1 second, and then you take your eyes off him for maybe a split second, and he's somewhere else. He is an extremely elusive and evasive player. Last week against Loomis, he had a couple of chances starting at his own dots and ending up with a couple of shots on net. He hit the crossbar at one point, unable to find the back of the net.
So Hanscom had it knocked away by Turcotte, battling for it now is Pitts in the corner. Pitts rims it back around, looking for Tien. It didn't go. So it's hit on now by Turcotte. Turcotte behind the net, looking for his partner, Pitts. Pitts up to Yun. Yun in the middle for Morante. Morante couldn't quite hold on to the pass as it's handled now by Yun. Yun in the neutral zone. Woo, loses his footing a little bit. Yun gets to the outside. Yun's shot saved by DeLuca. Low-angled shot he had Morante in the middle, if he's so pleased. It's coming the other way by Hurley, who throws it up in the air, gets it right over the head of his former youth hockey teammate Magnus Turcotte, tipped into the Westminster zone as Yun fighting for it. It's knocked away by Burke. Burke chipping it back in the middle, looking for Shaw. Shaw blazing speed into the neutral zone. Shaw looks to get to the outside. Excellent pressure from Kennedy to force him all the way over to the boards. In front, Palmer, handled now by Yun, who lost control of it in his feet. Yun looks back over for Kennedy as it's handled now by Shaw. Shaw looks to cut back in the middle, taken away by Kennedy.
Good save there by Peck on Shaw. Shaw, a lot of space, miscommunication there by the Winged Beaver defense. Led to a grade A opportunity for a grade A hockey player.
So it's handled now by DeFazio. DeFazio drops it back over for Elbury. Elbury with lots of time and options to make a play as it's handled now by Volo. Volo, backhand saucer pass, tipped out of play by Chuck Blanchard. 2:45 to play in the first period of action here at the JTG. Avon Old Farms leads 2-0.
Rough start for junior defenseman Eric Elbury. The goal going off of him and a couple of misplays by him. He is no longer with Patrick Dotson, his original D partner. Dotson now out here with Hanscom, but he got a shift with Hayden Raycraft that last time around.
So it's handled now in the corner on the hash marks, looking all the way across ice for Pine. The pass didn't go. Picked up by Palmer. Looking up for Markinitis and makes his way back onto the stick of Palmer. Up to Kennedy, over to Flaherty. Flaherty had it stripped away, picked up by Volo. Volo, ooh, cutting back in the middle. What a move! Saved by Stephen Peck.
That's Volo's patented move. The inside out and try and go over the glove. Unable to beat Peck there, but great speed from the captain.
So looking up for Markinitis was Blanchard. That pass didn't go as it's handled now by Pine. Pine throws the pass into the middle, unable to hold on to it. On the rebound was Dotson. Dotson looking back over for Hanscom. And it's handled now. Pine's shot way over the net. So here's Monroe looking up for Pelletier in the neutral zone. Pelletier trying to cut back in the middle. He brings it in the Westminster zone. His shot wide as it's handled now by Massey. Massey taken away by Jones at the hash marks. Jones brings it behind the net. In front, Monroe has it knocked away. And he plays the body. I'm not sure he knew that the puck was immediately behind him, as he was able to move Dotson out of the way, as it's handled now by Elbury. Elbury flings it high into the air as it's handled now by Miller. Miller.
Winged Beavers have had a lot of good layers this far. Marlets really unable to get any of their passes past more than one Avon Old Farms Winged Beaver. Something that usually they're pretty good at is those passes that get past multiple defenders.
So here's Monroe with it in the corner. Pressure coming from Elbury. Looking in front was Monroe. It was apprehended and taken away. Oh, and a good toe drag in the middle by Rhodes. So it's chipped up ahead into the Winged Beaver zone by Arnett. As it's handled now by Turcotte, under 45 seconds to play in the first period. Here comes Connor in the neutral zone. Connor looks to cut back into the middle. Excellent play there by Elbury to knock Connor off the puck. As it's flung high into the air, and it's picked up, looked to shot back into the middle for Judge. Judge has it stripped away by Pitts. So it's taken away by Golub in front of the Winged Beaver net, under 25 seconds to play in the first period. Gets to Connor past that Westminster defense, as it's up to Odenik now. The Yukon commit chips it up ahead into the Westminster zone, as it's handled now by Dotson. Dotson drops it back over for Shaw, as it's handled now by Pitts. 5 seconds to play in the first period. And that will do it after the first 18 minutes of play here at the JTG. After the first 18 minutes, Avon Old Farms leads 2-0.